Let's talk about ratios and rates. A ratio is a comparison of two or more numbers. An example is the ratio of stars to circle is 2 to 3. So that means there are 2 stars and 3 circles. The way we write a ratio is how they say it. So whatever they say first is what we write first. All right? So you should know that there are 3 ways to write a ratio. The first way being a fraction or fractional form, which means we write it as a fraction. Remember, a ratio is not a fraction because a fraction tells parts of a whole. Ratios compare to quantities. So although we can write it as a fraction, a ratio is not a fraction. We can also write it in ratio form, which means we use the colon. And then finally, we can write it in word form. And when we write it in word form, we use the word to. All right, so let's talk about rates. A rate is a ratio comparing two numbers with different units. For example, a car travels 100 miles in 2 hours. All right, so it's comparing miles to hours. 100 miles in 2 hours. And what you should know is that a unit rate tells the rate in lowest terms or the amount for one. Okay? Example, 100 miles in 2 hours means that you're going 50 miles in 1 hour. So 50 miles in 1 hour will be considered a unit rate. All right? Any questions? Please feel free to ask.